World Sports Action present the official Football League video. The Everton story, 1988-89. Tony Cottee, Everton's record signing, is the centrepiece of a plan to bring more trophies to Goodison Park. In 88-89, Everton were close, losing two thrilling cup finals in extra time at Wembley. But manager Colin Harvey will be looking for more consistency in the league next time. There were some splendid moments, though, from his expensive new team. Recall them now as we replay Everton's First Division season. Before it starts, Tony Cottee comes for £2.3 million, a record. Pat Nevin costs £925,000, Stuart McCall £850,000 and Neil MacDonald £525,000. A total spend of £4.6 million. Some is recouped. Gary Stevens goes for £1 million, Mountfield £425,000, Alan Harper £275,000, Alec Chamberlain £125,000. A total income of £1.825 million. So much to look forward to then in the opening game, and Cottee makes the perfect debut.
Always so much expectation on the opening day of the season, but particularly here at Goodison Park, where they're shaping a new-look team. Sharp! And Cottee! It's incredible! A goal after 34 seconds. McCreary, but he can't stem it. It's wave after wave of Everton attacks. This is Peter Reid, and Cottee, he's got his second. They salute a new hero. Everton moving out quickly and purposefully as well. Nevin, Stevens peeled off to the right, Reid chugging down the left, but Nevin uses Stephen. Cottee, and Nevin is clear. Is there a goal for him? Well, Besant stopped it. McCall really has been a dream start for these new Everton players, particularly Cottee. He's round Besant, and Tony Cottee comes to Everton with a hat-trick. Donald to the right, and Cottee to the left. Is he going to get a fourth? No, but Everton are through sharp.
That's a great start, but there's a defeat in the Centenary Trophy at Manchester United. A Strachan header is enough to settle it. But Everton and Cottee do it again in the next league match at Coventry.
Smith. Still David Smith. Still David Smith. Over he goes, and that's a penalty. It was a marvellous run, which Everton didn't have too many answers to. Brian Kilcline, who likes to thump his penalties, he's done so, and it's a fantastic stop by Neville Southall. Jim's corner. Regis jumping. That'll come out to Sedgley. Bannister! Another marvellous save from Southall. Poynton. That's a good ball. And here's the other fullback, MacDonald. And Cottee stolen free on the far side. There he is, Tony Cottee. Everton are in front. Borrows. Downs. Oh! Another marvellous save. Here's the substitute, Phillips. Still not giving up. Bannister. Regis. Off the bar.
If the success of Everton's new-look team seems too good to be true, well, it all dries up over the next 4 league matches. Not one of them produces a victory. Tony Cottee just can't get a goal. Forest upset them first.
Poynton. Here's Webb again. Clough. Webb's made the break. And a brilliant goal! Superbly fashioned there by Nottingham Forest. Webb, who's had a storming first 10 minutes of this game, combining beautifully with Nigel Clough. It was Webb who made the pass to Clough in the first place. Clough timed his return pass to perfection. Webb went running on and glided it skillfully wide of Neville Southall, and Forest are in the lead. Donald. Snowden getting MacDonald in again. Hodge getting across there, but the fullback's got it over well, and sharp against the crossbar. MacDonald hasn't finished yet into the side netting, and Everton within a whisker of getting back to 1-1 after some great work by their fullback Neil MacDonald, and Sharp's header which cannoned off the crossbar. Good cross here from MacDonald. Under pressure from Steve Hodge. Up comes Sharp at the far post. Everton denied by the crossbar. Gaynor getting in behind Snowden. Chance for them here. And it's knocked away by Watson when Forest were 1 foot only away from making it 2-0. Walker being harassed by Cottee. Sheedy curling it in, and Heath! The substitution has worked, and Everton are level. Initially some fairly sloppy work in defence by Forest, and Heath getting on the end of it. Slide rule there just inside the post, beyond the dive of Sutton. And Everton at last are level at 1-1.
Lawrence, it dropped over him. Sheringham got a foot to it. Lawrence with the cross. Cascarino's up well! Tony Cascarino, his 4th goal and his 4th First Division game. Lawrence. Sheringham pulling wide this time. Millwall really warming to life in the First Division. Lawrence, off the post, Cascarino! He's got another one! Everton really looking out of sorts, as unfamiliar as their all-yellow strip. But they've got a corner here, and maybe a chance to serve sharp in the air. Sheedy to take it. And it's bounced in off the unlucky Alan McCleary.
Williams. That's a better ball. Wilson! And Neville Southall makes another marvellous save. He really is in a rich vein of form at the present. Cottee. Sharp. Cottie's in again. Tony Cottee. Foiled by Les Seeley. Sharp's the target again. Oh, and he judged that the better of the two. Sharp! And Seeley denies them again. Harford, good header. Well beaten out by Southall, and again Foster came flying in. That'll be a free kick in fact. And he's away. He's got the legs on Ratcliffe, and again. And Southall, not for the first time this afternoon, is called into action. Another long ball through the middle, and Adrian Heath is onside. Now real chance here for Everton. He's been forced back. Cottee off the post. Oldfield furthest forward, and Black storming through the middle. Now this is a goal-scoring chance. Another marvellous save. Oldfield! And they've beaten him at last. Oldfield again. And Black's in once more. Round Southall and scores.
Sager's quickly fitting into the Wimbledon style with the long free kick. And Fashanu, Sagers has made a goal for him. injured in the process. Cork, a chance for the Wimbledon folk hero himself. Sheedy with a clever change of direction, and Adrian Heath has grabbed one back for Everton. Well, it's going to be wise. Cork moving well and getting free. Sharp. Brook couldn't control it. Sheedy. Sager's rapidly becoming a favourite here. He's got more problems ahead though, and he's in the right place again.
The Littlewoods Cup brightens things up a bit. A 3-0 win over Bury in the second round first leg. McDonald and McCall getting their first goals, Sharp the other. In the second leg, a 2-2 draw. Stephen and Sharp on target here. Back to the league now, and the goals return against Southampton. Extended highlights coming up.
Be sure that Everton will go about their business here right from the off with purpose and commitment. Ian Snowden having a problem, thinking that Colin Clark was going to be caught offside. And here's Rodney Wallace and Danny Wallace, and that was a problem, and what Everton must have dreaded has happened. Delight for Southampton. And it all stemmed when Colin Clark got away on that far side to spring the offside trap. Rodney Wallace was free in the middle, and so too, totally unmarked, was brother Danny. McCall made himself available well. Snowden still being played rather in front of Southampton's defending, but Cottee can turn here. Oh, Tony Cottee! A rasper. That was what they wanted. Almost too quick for the eye to see. It sped past Burridge. They were patient in the build-up. McCall quickened it up, but it was the turn by Cottee that lost Osman that was the most significant factor. Everton really hoping for a purposeful start to the second half from this free kick. Heath is there, so too is Reid. And out of the picture to the left is Kevin Ratcliffe. And here he is. And he's found Heath. Can he get the ball down? And Cottee hunting in at the near post. What a story it would have been had Ratcliffe himself got on target, but when the drive was blocked, he had the presence of mind to produce a very clever pass over the top of Southampton as they pushed out towards Heath. Watson. Oh, and Burridge from his own player. Osman. Have left some of their concentration in the dressing room. Snowden. Oh yes, Watson. And there was no escape for Southampton. Snowden whipped it in. A great first-time cross from the short corner, and the header angled well away from Burridge. Cottee. Now Sharp. Sharp. Cottee! They're turning on the style now. And that's is the partnership in full working order. Trevor Stevens slung in the cross deep, far post, that's Sharp's territory. looking for the knockdown is where Cottee is at his most effective. He's got his second, Everton have got 3, and they're back in business. Sharp goes his own way. Cottee's in the middle. Van den Hauwe. Away by Benali, not very far. Snowden. Played in by Heath. Oh! And almost one for the archives. Peter Reid doesn't score too often, and very few of what he does get come from diving headers. That was inviting for him, but he just couldn't get there. Letitia. Oh, and he kicked out then, and you saw it very clearly on Reid. And seen equally clearly by George Tyson. The card has been shown, although Letitia had turned his back on it. Sharp, stay them covering and turning it straight back to Sharp. Here's Cottee. Stephen! Splendidly placed. A very clean strike to seal a very satisfying second half for Colin Harvey and his team. Unfortunate for Derek Statham, really. He hasn't been too culpable at the back, but he lost it. Stephen finally got it after Cottee presented him with the chance.
That's a very convincing win. It moves Everton into 8th place, 6 points behind leaders Norwich City. Millwall and Coventry also surprising the bigger clubs. Liverpool are 4th. Next, a trip to play Aston Villa. The boss is left behind.
Terry Darracott, a lively Merseysider, he's in charge today. Manager Colin Harvey due to leave hospital this weekend after a second hip replacement operation, and I'm sure everybody in football sends warm good wishes to Colin for a complete recovery. Goes Watson, beats Daly in the air. Reid. Downfield versus Sharp. Sharp won that one and found Heath. And then goes for a lovely return ball. Graham Sharp again looking to get into a shooting position. It comes instead for Adrian Heath. Crossed in by him. And on the far side, Trevor Stephen arriving late. And it goes behind, but a very good move indeed again by Everton. Sharp and Heath combining well. And then as the cross came in from Adrian Heath, Trevor Stephen arriving late. Couldn't get the angle right. Sharp. Good turn when you get a shot in. Good piece of play there by Graham Sharp. Everton felt it flicked off a Villa defender, but a splendid turn. And I don't think Spink would have known much about that had that just gone inside the far post. Slightly unsighted there, the goalkeeper. Yes, indeed, it took a clear defection off the backside of Keown. And Everton a little unlucky not to get a corner. Villa's throw. Stuart Gray with it. Gordon Cowans. McInally. A bit of space for Price to get in, maybe. No, McInally's going his own way. Good play, bringing Price in again. That's a lovely cross coming in. Oh, spectacular goal by Daly. A stupendous Aston Villa goal there by their number 7, Tony Daly. Made by Price, who has his own little celebration. a glorious goal that puts Villa into the lead. Here's Price with a splendid cross, and you won't find a better goal than this. Met on the volley by Tony Daly, and a goalkeeper of the calibre of Neville Southall, not a prayer for him. 1-0 Villa. And he's playing it on, Mountfield almost getting in there, Platt! And it's 2-0, the flag is up, it won't count. David Platt disappointed. And Everton stay in the battle. Ball played forward. Good jump there. Mountfield almost got in, Platt, and it's Mountfield, the former Evertonian, who is offside. And Platt disappointed. Sharp. Reed. Cotti might get it back to Reed. Oh, Page is in there doing a good job. Ratcliffe standing firm, as indeed as Watson. Ratcliffe in there again. It might come for McAnally now, though. Inside is Platt, and somehow they keep it out thanks to a stupendous piece of goalkeeping by Neville Southall. They were within an ace of getting that second important goal then, Aston Villa. And here's Price. Cross is a good one. Daly stopped again by Southall. Two astonishing pieces of goalkeeping there by Neville Southall, and there's another one. But the first two saves were quite exceptional. One from David Platt. McAnally played it in. Platt, and a great reaction there by Southall. And then the other one, after Price had made such a good run, and it comes to Daly on the far side, and there's that man Southall again. And now he faces more problems as the ball is played in and shot on the turn, and gloriously into the back of the net that time by Platt, and there was nothing Southall could do about it. A great spell by Aston Villa after Everton had fought to get back into the game. Two superb pieces of goalkeeping by Southall kept them afloat, and then the great shot there by Platt. Not even Southall could stop that. And Villa get some breathing space with that second goal, to the delight of their fans around Villa Park.
That defeat's followed by one of the glamour games, Manchester United at Goodison. Massive publicity this year. It's the first live televised match of the season.
Darton to Strachan. Duxbury. Oh, putting some nice stuff. A lovely passing movement. And McClare. And it's well saved by Southall. Hughes is going in and very, very nearly forcing it home. Southall to the rescue when McClare was steaming through the central area there after a really delightful Manchester United passing move. And United still in possession. Robson sweeping it wide this time to Brian McClare. And the flag goes up for an offside, probably against Brian Robson. But some move that to Graham Taylor.
Yes, I mean, it was brought about really, Brian, by the Everton back line holding their line, but unfortunately, as I say, the right back was left holding the baby a little bit because the two centre-backs stayed still, and McClare went through there and split them very much. It's a little bit unfortunate, I felt, for Manchester United, but a great save.
And good to see Colin Harvey, the Everton manager here, out of hospital yesterday after a second hip replacement operation. Here at Everton with Stuart McCall. Played in for Sharp, he let the dummy go for Cotti! Well, the annoyance there from the former West Ham man. A great move by Everton, and a lovely dummy that allowed Cotti in, as McCall played it there. The dummy was from Graham Sharp, Cotti was onto it, and although Leighton came out, it was just a foot or so wide of that far post. Now McClare, and Olsen! In McClare, Snowden's after him, brings him down! That's going to be a yellow card at least. Olsen was through, and that was a bad challenge there by Ian Snowden. United players and fans alike incensed. least a yellow card. Graham?
Twice now Olsen, he's had some dribbling ability, his course threats. In the first 10 minutes of the game it looked that way. When you're playing with a wide man, he must have a service. And people say that he's inconsistent and various other things. Well, the way that you find true inconsistency is if he's getting the ball a lot. But here it's come through. You know, he's been brought down, had to be stopped.
Here's Olsen, stopped by Stephen. Blackmore taking it up again. Hughes on the far side. Mark Hughes. A goal now in each of his last 5 league games. And it puts United into the lead. Blackmore crossing it in. There's Hughes. There's no brilliant guy on the volley than Mark Hughes. And from another angle, a sight for sore eyes for all United fans, and a really spectacular piece of finishing there by Mark Hughes. They're going to take off Mike Duxbury and bring on Liam O'Brien, the 24-year-old Dubliner, a defender. As Wilson, now it's Snowden, in fact, crossing it in. Watson is in there against the bar, and Cotty has made it 1-1. And again, United have failed to hold a lead, and Everton have come back to snatch an equaliser. Tony Cotty, the £2 million man, scores his 99th league goal. There's the cross, a good jump by Watson against the crossbar, and Cotty there to finish it off.
Gives nothing up, does he? Watch Cotty, he watches it, he's the only one that moves on the header, look. Typical goal scorer.
Stephen. Cross is in there again, O'Brien winning it first, McClare, can he just touch it on for Hughes? Inside his own half and he's onside. Mark Hughes, stopped superbly by Southall and whacked away that time by Vanden Hauwe. What a finish here. A great break by Hughes. They played it out superbly to him, and of course some superb goalkeeping again by Neville Southall.
Everton just aren't winning enough games, and the picture doesn't get any brighter at Sheffield Wednesday.
Megson. And it's Hodgson chasing through the centre against Pat Vanden Hauwe, and Hodgson is the quicker of the two, and problems for Everton, and more problems because a penalty has been given against Vanden Hauwe. Sharp and Reed protesting. Well, it's Megson against Southall. Everton past against Everton present. And the current hero prevails. Stephen. Really get hold of it. Proctor slips. Now Reed. And Proctor trying to get back. Caught Reed. Trevor Stephen. That's how a penalty should be taken. Everton struggling to get it away. Stalland! The shot found a way through.
The table doesn't look good for Evertonians at the moment. The big spending isn't paying off yet. Everton down to 15th. The reason's simple, only one win in the last 8 games. Older man to the mix by holding Everton to a draw at Goodison in the 3rd round of the Littlewoods Cup. Their hopes of an upset, though, are flattened by Tony Cotty. He scores a double in the replay on the plastic. To help things along, there's a win at last in the league at Charlton.
Bennett easily slipped away from Ratcliffe then. Ian Snowden's gone across, and Paul Williams is unmarked to collect his 10th goal of the season. Ratcliffe. Sharp. Well, it sat up nicely for the shot, didn't it just? A tremendous goal by Graham Sharp. Sharp, Reed, it's Wilson to the left, Cottee, and Reed, he's walked through the defence, round the goalkeeper, and Peter Reed puts Everton in front in some style.
Manager Colin Harvey, now recovered from his hip operation, returns to full-time duty. To welcome him, 2 more positive results, another away win at West Ham after a draw with title-chasing Norwich. Norwich really enjoy themselves on their travels. They've got a 100% away record. They were the better side at Goodison Park and took the lead after 61 minutes. A good run from Gordon and Malcolm Allen with a fine header. Norwich won up and it looks as though we're heading for another 3 points. But what a controversial equaliser for Everton. A good move leading up to it. Sharp involved, McCall and Stephen too, and this is the moment. Tackle coming in from Putney on Snowden, no appeals from the Everton players. Referee John Penrose though gives a penalty. Norwich absolutely furious about it, and it does look as though Putney takes the ball before Snowden tumbles. England international Trevor Steven keeps his cool. 1-1 the result. Norwich then still unbeaten away from home, but that's a controversial end to their winning run.
McCall setting his sights. That's a very good save from McKnight. Dickens. Active made himself first ahead of Vizinha. Here's Cottee. And Stephen. And Everton are in front. It took a really nasty bounce in front of McKnight.
Strikers in the news. Adrian Heath moves to Espanyol for £500,000. For Tony Cottee, a milestone's reached in the home game against Tottenham Hotspur.
Bracewell, nicely executed. Snowden. Cottee, the flag has stayed down, and it's Tony Cottee! His 100th goal in league football. His first came against Tottenham on his West Ham debut back on New Year's Day 1983. And he makes Spurs pay again here. They'll wonder about the offside, but the linesman said no. Cottee said yes, that's mine. He may well have been played on by Terry Fenwick, but he recognised the opportunity and waited for the right moment to beat Mims.
That's 6 games unbeaten. Now Everton take their improved record across Stanley Park to Anfield, where Liverpool have been having problems of their own.
Plenty of thrust and counter-thrust and movement and crisp tackling and plenty of pace as you always get in these Mersey derbies. Houghton playing it in, Ratcliffe holding it up for Everton. Whelan taking it forward, Watson under it, didn't get an awful lot of ground on that one. Barnes, oh, it had to be tipped away by Neville Southall. A deceptive shot there by John Barnes. It was dipping and curling a bit, caught it on the half volley, and Southall had to give it the finishing touch. There's Cottee, that's a nice touch by Cottee. Bracewell almost onto it as well. McCall looking for Wilson on the far side. Gets there, can Cottee finish it off? Into the cop, and a goal kick. Made a good start with his new career at Everton, with 10 goals so far, Tony Cottee. And relishes derby football. In fact, last week he got his 100 league goals. And his first ever league goal, I remember, came in a derby. And playing for West Ham against Tottenham back in 1983 when Cottee was only 17. Here he is again. Oh, lost out that time. Nickel. Beardsley. Oh, here's some space for Barnes. Snowden trying to come across quickly to hold him up. But he gets his cross in well. Aldridge was in there, flying in there, but couldn't make the touch. Houghton playing it back to Whelan. Liverpool looking really dangerous. Venison with the shot, just wide of the Everton goal. Some great striking football there by Liverpool, Trevor Francis.
Yes, and it was interesting that it all started from the back. A good run from Steve Nicol. It's obvious that Kenny Dalglish has told Steve Nicol every opportunity to get forward, support his midfield players.
And then the shot by Venison, about a yard wide, taken from the other side of the ground. Having a good run at the moment, Everton, unbeaten in their last 8. Previous to that, their season had really been quite patchy. As I mentioned, they've won their last 3 without conceding a goal against West Ham and Spurs and against Oldham in the Littlewoods Cup. Liverpool, they've lost one of their last 10. An amazing night at West Ham. Here's Barnes. The flag stays down. Houghton is going through. And that's the goal. Everton look at the linesman with fury, but Ray Houghton has put Liverpool in the lead. He slipped the defence, and then the supreme task, clipping Neville Southall as well. Played in there by John Barnes. Certainly from that angle it looked offside, but the flag stayed down, past Southall, and the joy of a goal in the Merseyside derby for Ray Houghton. I must say, he looks suspiciously offside to me. Trevor Francis?
Yes, it's a great through ball from John Barnes and a good run from Ray Houghton, a good finish, but I think it has to be said that he was in an offside position.
Radcliffe. Graceful miscued there. Suddenly it's 3 against 2 for Liverpool. Aldridge is onside, the flag has stayed down, Barnes is up alongside him. And Barnes, oh, a superb piece of goalkeeping. A brilliant save by Southall. What a fabulous footballing moment that was. I think everybody in this 44,000 crowd was, or at least the Liverpool section, was about to scream goal. Played in nicely there by Aldridge, well met by Barnes. A magnificent piece of goalkeeping by Southall. Liverpool pushing forward again, almost getting it through to Barnes. Now McMahon tries. Can he find the killer ball? Not that one. Wilson. Only Cotty is up there, but he finds him. Trevor Stephen away on the right. Trying to cut inside Burrows. Turning the young defender. Penalty given. Foul by Burrows on Stephen. And Everton now with a lifeline. It looked a trip just inside the box. Joe Worrell, the referee, had no doubts. Penalty, Trevor?
You do put me on the spot, Brian, don't you? Yes, it was a penalty.
And look who's going to take it, Wayne Clark. Icy nerve required. Few chances this season, but a golden opportunity to make it 1-1. So Wayne Clark, the man who scored the winner against Liverpool in the match at Goodison Park last season. Now camera inside the goal, joined by the ball there as Hooper goes the wrong way. And we're level at 1-1. Oh, McMahon's lost. Bracewell finding Cotty. Finding Wilson. A little chip by him. And touched in. It's a superb equaliser there. No, it's been ruled out. Clark was up there to take Wilson's chip. There's an infringement and the goal disallowed. Trevor Francis. There's the little chip by Wilson. Could only been that Clark is alleged to have been pushing down in on Burrows, but there was certainly no offside about it.
And certainly the linesman didn't give any decision there, Brian.
1-1 it remains. Cottee. Whelan plays it through for Rush. Over the top. Southall did supremely well there for Everton. Came out and made Rush hurry that chance. But for all that, the cop behind that goal were beginning to cheer a moment of history. They thought Ian Rush was on the point of getting his 20th Mersey derby goal, and over the top it went.
Everton's hopes of Littlewood's glory go down at Bradford. Watson gets the consolation. But as one cup run ends, another begins. Millwall are beaten in the CMOD Cup. In the league, the unbeaten run goes on, extended to 10 games now with wins over Middlesbrough and Coventry. That's after a draw at Queen's Park Rangers.
Everton probing. Here's McCall. And Stevens away on the right-hand side. Now can he finish it? Oh, just past the post. Falco jumping. Might still come for Rangers. Dennis. Falco! Tremendous stop. Here's McCall. Wayne Clark. Tony Cottee's in. And will he roll? Away by Danny Maddox. Francis, another terrific save from Southall.
On to Goodison Park. It hasn't been a vintage season for Everton, but they're still in the hunt in this Open Championship race. And a tremendous start, a superb third-minute goal by England midfield man Trevor Stephen. Stephen playing as a striker against Middlesbrough with Graham Sharp injured. But Middlesbrough were quickly level when Stuart Ripley was brought down by Pat Vanden Hauwe. The penalty rifled past Neville Southall by Dean Glover. Everton, though, came up with a winner before half-time. A clever move, too. Ian Snowden crossing from the right into the near-post area. Tony Cottee pouncing, his 12th of the season.
Stevens the target, out by Downs. Here's Peter Reid. Sheedy calling for it. Kevin Sheedy! And Everton go in front. Nicely done. That's an enormous kick from Ogrizovic. Here's Bracewell looking for Southall. Bannister's onto that. And will it roll? Yes. 1-1. Everton moving with some fluency now. Snowden, here is Kevin Sheedy, and that's 2-1, and a glorious goal as well. Ogrizovic came and didn't make that, and Coventry with problems. Here's Bracewell, 3-1. Great to see him back and amongst the goals.
That's more like it. Everton bubbling and up to 4th place, only 7 points off the top. Arsenal are the new leaders, but everything looks set for a genuine title challenge. So what happens next is a puzzle. It puts Everton right back again. Games against Forest, Arsenal and Luton all end in defeat. The rot starts at the City Ground.
Everton took their 10-game unbeaten league run to Nottingham Forest and might have extended it had Trevor Stephen not missed the first half penalty. Shortly afterwards, Neville Southall's punch dropped invitingly for Gary Parker. Forest in front 4 minutes before half-time. Now Nigel Clough is fit again, but his father Brian keeping informed Tommy Gaynor in the number 9 shirt. And Gaynor himself determined to retain his place. A very confidently taken goal 17 minutes into the second half. 2-0. To Nottingham Forest.
Rocastle and Merson is motoring in the middle and unmarked. Here is Merson. Oh, that's a lovely crisp strike. Paul Merson, Arsenal are in front. Richardson. Rocastle again. Well, that's a good cross. Smith made himself first. 2-0 Arsenal. Arsenal playing with a great deal of confidence now. Winterburn, Merson's the target. Richardson, that's a nice touch. Richardson's in, and he'll have enjoyed that against his old club. Watson, McDonald jumping, Everton suggesting that ball was in, and McDonald, the player, claiming it's been given.
I think it's fair to say that the Everton players, given the choice, wouldn't take this pitch around the country with them to play every game on. He seems very sure-footed on it, though. This is Ricky Hill. And Wegerle's got through the centre. He sneaked in behind Dave Watson, and Luton Town have gone in front.
That starts a worrying trend. Good cup form contrasting with indifferent performances in the First Division. After a draw at West Brom in the third round of the FA Cup, Everton win the replay. Sheedy gets goals in both games. In the CMOD Cup, Wayne Clark scores twice at Wimbledon. It gives Everton a 2-1 victory. They come through the fourth round of the FA Cup as well. There's a draw at Plymouth thanks to a penalty from Kevin Sheedy. The replay, though, very comfortable. 4-0, Sharp twice, Nevin, Sheedy again, the scorers. But 3 more league games come and go without success. All 3 against Wimbledon, Southampton and Aston Villa finish 1-1. The sequence starts against Wimbledon.
Wimbledon's defenders so quick in their work, and Young not just settling for breaking up the attack, he's starting one for Wimbledon. Fairweather, and Sanchez is unmarked. Fashanu, Sanchez! Ian Wilson did well to pull that one down, and was he knocked down himself? Mike Peck, the referee, says yes. It's a penalty to Everton. Wimbledon are furious about it. Graham Sharp, 1-1. Dropped over Young, Nevin, and Cotty, underside of the bar, and it didn't cross the line. Sharp, and Vinnie Jones came back, and that wasn't a very bright tackle, and now Jones and Ratcliffe squaring up. Ratcliffe left holding his head, and Vinnie Jones is in serious trouble now. It was a bad challenge on Sharp, and then maybe Ratcliffe made more of that than the contact warranted. But Jones, with a reputation that will always work against him, he's off. Vinnie Jones sent off. That'll be the headlines in the papers tomorrow.
Sharp's in here. Burridge down quickly, and he needed to be. McCall. Cotty's on the far side and unmarked. Must score, surely. Oh, he's pushed it over. Wallace with the corner. Moore! Good goal, Kevin Moore. 1-0 Southampton. Forrest with the throw for Southampton. Forward by Case, and Wallace now against Southall. Well, he's waited a little too long. Here's Graham Baker, away off the line. Well, Everton still not out of the woods yet. Wallace again, and he'll have a go himself. McDonald down the line, nice touch by Sharp. And here's Kevin Sheedy, thought about it, hit it well! A screamer from Kevin Sheedy! Wallace, Cockerell's in here, now what can he do? It's a great chance, and another very good save. Wallace following up. Everton with all sorts of problems. Ratcliffe calming it all down. Case. Waiting for someone to make a move, And Baker's in here again. What, he's pulled that wide.
Away by Ormondroy. Taylor Stephen can try again. Here's Cottee! Oh, a gift! And after 11 games without a goal, he's very grateful for it. McInally made up some ground then, and Villa have equalised, and Ormondroy claims it.
That contrast between Cup and League form continues. In the fifth round of the FA Cup, Everton win 1-0 at Barnsley. Sharp gets the goal. In the league, another disappointment, but a very exciting match at the baseball ground.
Hebert for Goddard. Micklewhite is free again, and Goddard has somehow lifted the pass to him. Saunders in the centre, it's Dean Saunders! In the 19th minute, Saunders applied the finishing touch to a delightful derby move, and Southall is beaten by his Welsh international teammate. A very fine goal for the home side. Pickering, who can play left back, indeed played for England there back in 1983. Goddard as a break that threatens Everton here. Williams is into the centre, and so too is Saunders. It'll come for Saunders, oh dear! You could see what was in his mind to try and catch Southall coming back towards the centre of the goal. But Watson miscued, and then Williams did, and Saunders put it wide. Williams, good derby pressure as the first half draws to a close. Micklewhite, another deep ball, it's over Pickering. Good control by Forsyth, but a poor back pass that Sharp has intercepted. Is it a gift for Everton? It is! Graham Sharp, who's hardly had a look at goal in the previous 44 minutes, but Michael Forsyth played it where he thought Shilton might collect it, and no one knows better than the Derby left-back that it's really down to him. It didn't reach its target. Sharp was very alert, the finish was clinical, it's 1-1. Nevin, his first job is to help out in defence. Saunders, Goddard was offside but not interfering with play, he got back. Micklewhite well found, Southall in trouble, but he got a hand to it, and a strong one too, it cleared the area. Hebert. And it's 2-1 through Paul Goddard. Derby have regained the lead. And suddenly, in a minute, it's all gone wrong for Everton. Graham Sharp has gone off, and they're behind again. Hebert planted it in very precisely. Goddard on the stretch, and Southall showing his disappointment. He hoped a defender would get there, and he rather stayed, leaving the danger for others to deal with. 2-1 after 56 minutes. Everton really have got to lift their play now. McDonald. Nevin pulls out to McDonald's right. He uses him as a decoy. Good stop by Wright, but there was a foul. And a quick free kick, very well taken by Snowden. Nevin! Oh, and that's disappointing for Everton. Derby were flat-footed. As soon as the ball was placed, it was just touched off by Snowden, and this was the chance Nevin had, and he wasted it. Stephen flicks it on. Forsyth covering well for Derby. Trevor Stephen really lifting his game when Everton need it. Nevin, and that is a foul by Hebbard. Maybe Everton can punish them from the free kick. It breaks loose for Sheedy again. Oh, and Wayne Clark, 2-2. Brilliantly taken goal. So Clark covering up well for Tony Cotte's absence here. And he flung himself in at the near post and it sped into the corner. Sheedy doing his party piece as well by providing the accurate cross. His small tally this season because he hasn't been a regular in the side. But a goal scorer of high calibre to be called upon, with Cottee not able to start the game and with Sharp now picking up an injury as well. Clark can look forward to a spell in the side. And he's done his cause plenty of good with that second Everton equaliser. Williams. Here's Micklewhite. For the cross. Saunders is one of them. Pickering! Well, for half a second it seemed bound for the far corner. But so much of Derby's good work has come through Gary Micklewhite down that right-hand side. Saunders jumped well, distracted Watson. Pickering had the shot. It was across Southall, but across the goal. Graham Sharp joining in the encouragement from the Everton bench. Colin Harvey, the manager, on the extreme left. Behind March. Crack on the back of the head for Trevor Stephen. Call and Williams. Two very eager midfield men in direct competition then. Hebbard and Snowden going for a ball that was off the ground, but doing it fairly. Micklewhite, Goddard's gone to the right. Possibilities for Derby here. Goddard is onside. It's a perfect goal. Simply perfect. Paul Goddard. That had top quality written all over it. Micklewhite through the centre this time. Goddard to the right. Southall off his line. And Goddard knew exactly what he was doing. That was wonderful finishing. Paul Goddard gets his second goal of the game. Derby have the lead for the third time in the match. Can they hang on to it? Certainly that goal deserves to be the winner.
It was the winner. True to form though, Everton's next win comes in a cup tie. This one qualifies them for Wembley. Nevin's goal, too much for Queen's Park Rangers in the Simod semi-final. And that Wembley buzz really grows when Wimbledon get the same treatment in the FA Cup sixth round. Stuart McCall's goal proves the winner. Everton will meet Norwich in the semi-finals. In the league, victory at last. Sheffield Wednesday become the first team to be beaten by Everton in 1989. Unfortunately, the win doesn't spark off a run of form, despite some ordinary-looking opposition. We've got 4 games coming up, starting with Wednesday.
It's an enormous kick from Southall, causing Wednesday 1 or 2 problems. Here's Stuart McCall, and they've left Cottee free. Tony Cottee! That's a marvellous start for Everton. Just 4 minutes on the watch. Sheedy. McCall. Oh, he's hit the post.
Everton still trying to rid themselves of this poor away record in the First Division. Well, they haven't made a very good start here. It was Mirandinha who turned it over the line. And certainly the conditions have worsened in the second half. O'Brien, Everton hesitated, and Newcastle are smiling in the rain.
Hurlock's arriving through the middle. Mr. Martin waving play on as Hurlock goes on, and here's Carter. Cascarino's on the far post, and here's Sheringham. A familiar 1-2 for Millwall, who go in front. Just 2 minutes gone. Sharp jumping, over he goes, and that's a penalty. Sheedy against Horn. Yes, but only just 1-1.
Gary Gill storming through the centre. Well, Gill deserved the goal, but Slaven's got it. Away by Pallister. Everton keeping the pressure on though. And that's a good turn by Nevin. And first on hand, Tony Cotty. Stephen. And Parkinson hesitated, and Middlesbrough have lost the goal to Kevin Sheedy. Davenport. Well, it looked to me as though Neil Poynton played the ball, but it's a penalty. 2-2, Parkinson. Poynton. And Nevin sneaked in to great effect for Everton. Davenport! 3-3!
Everton are now a long way off the title race, 21 points behind Arsenal, 13 behind Liverpool, Everton down in 11th place. But April signals some brighter form, at least at home. There are plenty of goals to enjoy as Everton beat Queen's Park Rangers and Charlton. There's an away defeat at Highbury in between. First, the victory over Rangers.
Stephen. And now Bracewell with a shot on. They're appealing for handball. But it's a goal in any case, and it's scored by Wayne Clark. Sheedy. And Rangers have certainly lost their concentration at the moment. A penalty given against Alan McDonald for a push on Pat Nevin. Kevin Sheedy with that trusty left foot, which doesn't let Everton down. Sinton. Still Sinton. The game has got its second penalty. Rammed in by Falco. Bit long towards Clark. And Reid can tidy this up. Oh, Peter Reid has put it on a plate for Tony Cotty, and that might be the end of it in terms of a Rangers comeback. It's Cotty here. It's Trevor Stephen through the centre. Still Stephen. Everton 4, Queen's Park Rangers 1. 3 minutes gone. Smith going to the near post. It's Lee Dixon here. His first league goal for Arsenal. Dixon. Rocastle. It's all a little tight, but Arsenal still going forward. Rocastle. Merson. And Quinn!
Mortimer again. McDonald back with him. Trying to force him wide, but Mortimer's got it inside, and Mortimer has scored. Charlton are in front. A lovely individual goal. Lee skipped away from the fullback. That's a good cross. Lieburn! I think he hit the post. Nevin trying to wriggle his way through. Sharp with the header. And tipped over by Bob Boulder. Nevin again. McCall. Here's McDonald and Sharp. 1-1. Nicely carved out. Sharp the target. Kevin Sheedy. 2-1 to Everton. Nevin, they've given him far too much space. Nice 1-2 with Sharp. Nevin goes on, and that's a lovely finish from Pat Nevin. Caught him up. Leeburn. Lee. Charlton not done yet. Still Lee goes on. Good stop by Southall. It's hit Ratcliffe, and that's gone in. That'll go down as an own goal. Leeburn jumping. Peak! Good stop by Southall.
The FA Cup semi-final goes according to plan. Norwich beat 1-0 at Villa Park to confirm Everton's second trip to Wembley this season. Pat Nevin scores the goal. It'll be Everton's 11th FA Cup final, equalling the record held by Newcastle and Arsenal. The other semi-final, Liverpool against Nottingham Forest, is scheduled for Hillsborough. What happens there will be remembered forever on Merseyside and in football history. 95 Liverpool fans die in a crush on the terraces. The city of Liverpool, which lives for its football, grieves openly. Everton and Liverpool fans are united by the tragedy. There's a tangible reaction as well. Tottenham Hotspur are among the first clubs to take down their fences. And White Hart Lane is where Everton resume their First Division fixtures. Players and fans of both sides pay their respects. A minute's silence is observed at 3 minutes, the time the Hillsborough match was halted. The game itself is played in a warm spirit. It provides 3 good goals.
Walsh looks to chip Southall. A brilliant goal. Coming in the 69th minute. And Paul Walsh beats a high-class goalkeeper with a wonderful shot. Stephen. Watson goes up. Sharp might have a shot here. Graham Sharp. Oh, and it's drilled in by Neil MacDonald. 1-1. 7 minutes left. Everton with numbers there, and eventually the ball broke for MacDonald, and a similar goal really to Paul Walsh's. Watson, McCall and Walsh. Watson again. And that looked like handball by Trevor Stephen. It didn't matter in that Tottenham retained possession. Stewart. And it falls for Walsh. Can he get there before Southall? He has done. He scored again in the last minute. Stewart made it happen with the first shot. It couldn't have ricocheted better for Walsh. And he took it early and crisply this time.
A defeat, but the players just relieved to get the game over in the week after Hillsborough. So to Wembley, and the first leg of a cup final double. Nottingham Forest in the CMOD Cup. Not the most glamorous of competitions in the early stages, but what a final it produces.
Nicely done by Walker to find Pearce. Clough dropping deep again, but Everton well aware of that, and they've got Cottee on a run through the centre here. It's Tony Cottee for Everton! Starting a match at Wembley for the first time, and it's only taken him 8 minutes to make his mark. He came here in 1980 as a West Ham supporter and stood behind the goal into which he's now scored a very important goal for Everton. Well, Tony Cottee has put Nottingham Forest at least in a familiar position. They were a goal down, of course, to Luton in the Littlewoods Cup final. Here's Laws. Webb. Ratcliffe is quick enough, but Webb did enough pressing to make Kevin Ratcliffe have the final touch and to give Forest a corner. Chapman, Parker! (1-1). And Gary Parker, whose first goal for Nottingham Forest was against Everton at the turn of the year, and really from that point on he's been collecting them with great regularity. And he was in the right spot, although it took a couple of deflections along the way to pull Nottingham Forest level here. Southall got to it but couldn't keep it out. Well, Parker's ratio of goals better than 1 in 3, and Southall, as you could see there, did get a hand to it. Sheedy, and Sharp, will he reach it? He will! Well, a very spectacular strike. Impassive, the Everton manager. But it's the same problem for Nottingham Forest. The ball looped in behind their back line and an Everton boot first to it. And the boot belonging to Sharp made superb contact. It flashed past Steve Sutton. Parker. Here's Webb. Clough. It'll run for Wilson. Sheedy. Very encouraging for Everton for their return here on May the 20th. Whether it will be against Forest remains to be seen. Van den Hauwe. A corner for Colin Harvey's team. They're again showing that cup football is to their liking when they've been less successful in league matches. But they're not home yet in this one. They might be now, but somehow Walker is able to get the ball away, and Forest really can spring on here. This is Parker. Gaynor up with him, and Clough, but Parker's going all the way himself. It's a terrific goal! A wonderful run. A second ago, Everton were on the Forest line, but we know that Brian Clough's team is geared to counter-attack. But how often do you see a goal like that, especially in a final? Well, Parker was considering 1 or 2 other options here until he realised that the goal was there for the taking if he went on, which he did, and threaded it under Southall. Cottee. Played through by Nevin. Cottee, who really likes to take shots early like that when he's on the run. It was fed into his stride. And it was an excellent effort and well held by Sutton. Oh, and Webb. Now this is Stephen. Webb and Walker got in a tangle. Stephen, and Webb and Walker will be mightily relieved, but Steve Sutton was able to pluck the ball out of the air. Maybe weariness a factor now, but Des Walker was able to recover for Forest, although Stephen did hook it back across. Chapman, he can put Forest in front here, and he's done it. They lead for the first time in this final, 2 minutes into extra time. Southall came out, and Chapman, calm as you like, flipped it over him. But at the heart of the Forest third goal, Nigel Clough with a brilliant pass that opened up Everton for Lee Chapman. Cotti. Nevin slipped the pass in to Bracewell. Sheedy. And now Vanden Hauwe, and it's Forest turn to back pedal. Nevin will keep it in play. It's a fine cross, Cotti! Everton are back in it again. Well retrieved by Nevin, delightfully delivered over Wilson, and Cotti placed the header to perfection. Well, Everton fans haven't yet seen the very best of Tony Cotti, but 18 goals is a very useful return in his first season with them. And if you ever wondered whether this competition was being taken seriously, that expression gave you the answer. Look at that. Wilson only scuffs it as far as Sheedy. And Sharp, and Sutton against the bar. My word. Steve Sutton looks skywards, and thanks some divine help perhaps, Sutton did very well to stop Sharp's shot or push it up onto the bar, and then as Cotti followed in, Sutton somehow stopped his momentum. And you thought he must carry the ball in, but he didn't. Webb, and Carr is onside with a clear run at goal. Chapman! Does that mean the Simod Cup for Nottingham Forest? It should do. Chapman joins the list of 2-goal men in this match.
Everton making a marvellous contribution to an excellent final, but tasting disappointment at Wembley. It's an experience that will be repeated 3 weeks later. Before that, Everton meet Liverpool in the league, the Reds' first game since Hillsborough. It's a night of emotion for Merseyside. The game brings no goals, but some very near things.
Trying to get it down for Graham Sharp, played wide for Sheedy. Sharp on the far side. Stevens in there as well. Sharp's in there too. Saved by Grobbelaar. And the ball coming eventually hooked away by Ablett. Some very good work indeed by Bruce Grobbelaar. After Sharp appeared to have so much time in that Liverpool penalty area. Everton now with a free kick.
Well, here's a chance again. He worked it well, didn't he? And that was a reflex save there by Bruce Grobbelaar.
Stephen harassed and hustled into a mistake there by Beardsley. He's got Aldridge up alongside him. Barnes streaming down the left. Beardsley shot! Aldridge goes in! And somehow they get it away behind for the corner. bit of spirit there between Aldridge, recognising some great work by Southall. The shot by Beardsley pushed away there by Southall, and Southall, a magnificent save there.
But they have a cup semi-final against Nottingham Forest on Sunday for Liverpool. No doubt Mr. Clough and his team will be watching very closely.
And as Cottee now makes the break, he's brought down, and he hasn't given a penalty.
I wouldn't have thought so, because Tony Cottee just turned and started getting back onto the game, you know. I think Ablett just got a toe poke and got the ball away.
He goes again, this time Sharp gets to it, Cottie's in there!
And somehow Grobbelaar kept that out as Sheedy went storming in. A combination of Grobbelaar and Ablett kept Liverpool afloat. So near to an Everton goal here, as we see it from our special camera inside the goal. Ablett, and it came off Grobbelaar's leg and he would have known nothing about it. From Sheedy.
Big swift challenge and a good one there by Whelan. In goes McMahon as well.
To try to lift the pace again. Beardsley! Hooked it wide, dragged it wide.
Norwich City are next. Again, Everton failed to score as the Canaries take revenge for that semi-final defeat.
Into the last 2 minutes. Fleck. Rosario. Fleck. And Gordon. And Southall is beaten at last by Norwich City's newly crowned Player of the Year.
Now we can wrap up the league season with some consistent form at last. 3 wins in a row over Manchester United, West Ham and Derby County. The game at Old Trafford sees a rare away success.
And it's a long time since we've seen so many gaps on the Stretford end terraces. Wilson's corner, Wilson again. Sharp! Yes! A typical Graham Sharp goal, and he loves scoring here at Old Trafford. He was looking for options. Mal Donachie at last providing one. And here's Hughes. Oh, that's a terrific strike! Mark Hughes! His first league goal for 4 months. And what a way to start scoring again. Wilson and Stephen over the ball. Stephen took it. Sharp challenging, away by Bruce. Back in there by Wilson again. Sharp! And wasn't he? 2-1.
West Ham really starting here in determined vein, as indeed they have to. And this is Stuart Slater, away from Poynton. And he's beaten Ratcliffe as well, and Southall. What a start for West Ham. Well, it's set up for Sheedy, and that's his trademark. There's Trick Dix. Dave Watson's there. If only West Ham had played with this passion and purpose earlier in the season. Paris, and that's a push by Ratcliffe, and they've earned a penalty. This for 2-2. And the responsibility rests with young Kevin Keane. Southall with a superb save, which might in the end mean relegation for West Ham. Well, West Ham a little unlucky to meet Everton at a time where they're all playing for their cup final places. Bracewell has booked his. Still Wembley to come, but Everton looking to leave their home support for the summer with some last memories of a mixed season, shall we say. Well, there's a goal that they won't forget easily, and it's come from Ian Wilson.
But the season is to end in disappointment. Defeat in the Merseyside FA Cup final against Liverpool. Like the Forest match, it goes to extra time, but Stuart McCall's 2 dramatic goals aren't enough. Kevin Radcliffe captains Everton for the 4th time in an FA Cup final. He's only enjoyed 1 win. Everton's final league placing, 8th. They'll be looking for a much better showing in 89-90. 54 points gathered from the 38 games. The leading scorers, Tony Cottee, 18 in all, 13 of them in the league. Kevin Sheedy, 8 in the league, 4 in cups. Graham Sharp, 7 and 6. Trevor Stephen, 6 and 2. And so, no trophy for Everton. They went close twice. Will they go one better next time? Maybe, if Tony Cottee can produce more of these.